Hello, Toastmaster and Toasties. This is my first speech, and it's going to be an icebreaker speech, which I'll be introducing myself. I was born on 25th August, the much wanted girl child, after two boys in the family. My father named me Uma, which means goddess of power, since my mother was named Lakshmi, goddess of wealth. Of course, my younger sister was named Sharda, goddess of knowledge. So we had three goddesses in the family: wealth, power, and knowledge. What more could you ask? With four children in the family, we had lots of quarrels. We taught good people management skills to our parents. My father would interfere only if the aggrieved did not retaliate. Otherwise, we had to sort it out ourselves. And my mother had a totally different strategy. She would take both the kids, lock us up in the bathroom, and say, sort it out now. As soon as we were locked in the bathroom, we would forget all about the fight and start pleading her to open the door. I had a very happy childhood in IIT. For those of you who don't know what IIT is, it's Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, where my father was a professor. Kharagpur was a small town, but it was very cosmopolitan. We had people from all parts of India, so had a good exposure to different cultures of India. We had excellent schools, good sports facilities, and so we had a well-rounded development as we grew there. The downside of a small town, though, is everyone knows about everything about anything and everything about you. The other downside of this campus was that we were pretty much protected from the realities of life. For example, when the rest of India had power outages, we had none. For the elementary years, I went to a convent where I was taught by nuns and Anglo-Indians, Indians with British ancestry. So I learned to read and write English even before I learned to read and write Telugu, my mother tongue or native language. So English was the medium of communication with my friends, siblings, and my father. I spoke to my mother in Telugu, my mother tongue, and now I understand why it's called mother tongue. So I learned to read Telugu after my grade 10, but I still don't know how to write it. For middle and high, I went to a public school where I was taught national language, Hindi, and Sanskrit, our ancient language, which is the root of most of the Indian languages. It's also a means to communicate with God. I took keen interest in athletics when I was in my middle and high school. I represented my school up to the national levels. Sure, you won't believe that if you look at me now. Science and technology was of utmost importance on this campus, and our sole goal was to get admission into IIT. It's something like equivalent to MIT here. So without digressing the path, I opted math, physics, chemistry in my high, and I joined IIT to do my bachelor's and master's in physics. After graduating from IIT, I took up a job in Delhi with a computer manufacturing firm as an R&D engineer. This was the first time I was away from my family, which gave me a lot of freedom to do whatever I wanted to do. Also made me responsible for myself. This helped me gain a lot of confidence since I had to deal with everything myself. I got married and moved to a port city called Vishakhapatnam. This was an arranged marriage. My husband's name is Nagbhushan, which is god Shiva, and whose wife mythologically is goddess Uma. So you see, Marriages are made in heaven. I was transferred to a bigger city, Hyderabad, after 2 years of working in Visakhapatnam. And I couldn't move there because my husband had his own business and it was not easy for him to move. So I quit my job, took a break for a year, and then I thought, okay, why not teach my neighbors' kids math and physics, which I know best. This was the most gratifying job I had. While I was teaching these kids, I was offered a job as a consultant with AT&T New Jersey. So I decided to move to US, the land of opportunities. I worked in US, in New Jersey, for 3 consulting firms, and then moved to Verizon Tampa in 2002. I worked here as a consultant for another couple of years, and then joined as a full-time employee for the past 5 years. I'm blessed with a daughter whose name is Santoshni, which means happiness. She was born to us after 10 years of our married life. True to her name, she has brought a lot of happiness and joy into our lives. She's a 10-year-old now. I believe in success comes in cans and not can'ts. That's the reason I joined Toastmasters, to improve my public speaking skills. Thank you.